What's good, everybody? We are here at PAX 2022. I am rocking with a couple of members of the Squanch Games team, Justin Roiland and Mikey, last name? Spano. And we're here to talk about High on Life. I got a chance to play through the game in a quick demo, and I had a blast with it. Super excited to get more time with it. I remember going to the Xbox showcase and sitting in the rows and of the fans and everybody going like, holy shit, what is this game? How do we get our hands on this? How has the response been so far to, the demo and everything that you all have already shown?
It's been overwhelmingly positive for us. Like, it's been such a labor of love, and then having people actually play it and seeing like jokes landing and things going how we expect, it's been so amazing.
Yeah, really, really good. I mean, with Trover, it was kind of crickets. I'd run, like, if I ever got recognized from Rick and Morty, I'd ask them, "You ever heard of Trover Saves the Universe?" Like, what? No, I don't know what that is. Okay, all right, yeah. Just and we're only like 6 days or 7 days now outside of Gamescom, like a week Gamescom or a week pass, and it's like obviously the trailer got good response at E3, but like the Gamescom stuff is just nuts. Like, that's really crazy. So we're hoping coming out of PAX it'll kind of keep going, but yeah, we're really grateful for it.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got a chance to see everything on the big screen, it just like jumps out at you in terms of the visuals, and of course the humor is paramount in terms of like connecting all the pieces together in that way. For the folks who may not necessarily be familiar with your work in that same way, what's the thing that you're hoping will kind of pull them into the universe and help them kind of connect to the worlds that you've already built in other, properties and other IPs that you've built to this game that is very, very new and also a little bit of a different flavor from what you did in Trover?
I mean, obviously, just like you said, it's visually really appealing, and then there's little bits and pieces that are drawing people in, like that have gone viral, like Knifey, the talking knife. It's like no one's done that before in a game. Just the talking weapons, no one's done before. Thank God. And we're really leaning into it. That they're aliens. They have the whole backstory of their home planet, all this cool stuff that you learn in the game. But so just drawing people in, that and of course the comedy and stuff, drawing people in, and then once people are playing it, I think it's the kind of really complex narrative design and just the good, like really solid shooter mechanics and enemy combat scenarios, and it really is like it feels really good as a game. But then on top of it, we've got all this funny and surprisingly sophisticated narrative design that just, like, I'm trying to think of another really good example of a game. Oh, okay, I don't know actually 100% if this is the same. Like, I was gonna say like the Insomniac games, like The Last of Us or any of the Nathan Drake, but those are more kind of scripted to kind of, you're hearing characters talk and a story unfold while you're, ours is like you'll do a thing and it'll trigger audio that is very aware of what you're doing. Yeah. And in some cases it's happening boom, 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 and it just feels really it's surprising. And we're not the first to do something like that, narrative design to that level. But I think in a comedy space we might be, or certainly one of the few. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that what lends to some of the fun that I had in the demo was the timing is just so spot on, and from a comedic perspective, that's always a thing I'm thinking that you're always thinking about, and how do you land a joke in that certain way with that contextual layer of even when I was playing the demo, I did everything the opposite way or the other way than I saw in the demo that was played.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah.
To try to see what would be the audio prompts for stuff. So like when you get to the door, I didn't pick the blue guy, I picked the red guy.
Okay.
And I didn't kill the kid.
Great. Okay.
So seeing some of those layers of like what were the things that were going through that process of seeing those pivot points. Yeah. How hard is it to build out that much dialogue for a game where that folks are gonna literally fuck up the choices that you probably wanted them to see initially?
I mean, I love the idea that it's a high player story scenario.
Yeah, the fuck up is what we want. We want people to fuck with it. We want them to like improv, right? Like we want the jokes to land because you're picking the timing, right?
Yeah. And also just the best thing that my dream is that people will be talking about this game online and comparing notes, and they're like, what the fuck, like, oh my god, for me it was blah blah blah, like we have a lot of that in the game, and we have some of it that's real big, like I think in this demo there's like kind of, there's a handful of moments that are smaller in that way, but really big ones in the course of the game that just branch, like you really would need to go back and play it again to get and sometimes 3 times, in some cases 3 times you'd want to play it, but
you won't be able to see everything in 1 or 2 playthroughs. I mean, just the guns alone offer a completely different dialogue set. So if you choose to play with Kenny in a level, you're going to hear something totally different than if you choose to play with Sweezy or Creature or Gus. So right there you have 4 different playthroughs if you want to hear everything, and that's if you were able to make every decision, which you're not. So and on top of that, for every obvious decision, there's like a million tiny ones that you don't even know you're making, and then you talk to somebody else and they're like, wait, what did he say to you? What did that character do?
And also just hanging out and listening, like there's some really funny jokes that people are going to miss because you kind of have to hang around and eavesdrop sometimes, and you'll get really funny jokes, and that's kind of stuff that held over from Trover, the sort of opt-in, as much as you want, but as little as you want, you kind of can really important to let players have the freedom to hang out and listen to some stuff if they want to, or to just keep playing the game, keep moving forward if they want to.
Yeah, I'm one of those folks who likes to like peek around every corner and see what things are there and mess around with systems and see how I can break things in that way.
It's perfect for you.
So it feels like a game like is going to be great for me in that way.
Yeah, and we try to reward that type of play. It's something we're always thinking about. Like, if somebody, if somebody does that, we should have a line for it, or whatever. We should surprise them, We did it big time on Trover. I mean, it was like, and then this game is like Trover times, I don't know how many times. It's like,
insane.
What, like times 20?
100.
100, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's always interesting, too, to see, gameplay decisions that are really dictated by the player in that way. What are some of the things you learned from Trover and from Rick and Morty and from all the other things that you've worked on, from that kind of narrative direction that you were like, oh, I really want to make sure we nail that in this game? What were some of the things you were thinking about when you were in the design phase?
That's a good question. I don't know if there were any well, I'm sure there are plenty of lessons. I'm just not thinking of things from Trover. I just know that the way we did Trover, the way we would watch people play, and then we would see we would see like a handful of players do a thing, and we'd be like, okay, we need to have a line there to just surprise people when they do that thing.
Yeah.
That's something that we learned on Trover that I thought that I feel like is a really fun, cool thing to do. The narrative design systems in Trover were pretty. I mean, they're interesting. They're sophisticated, but not anywhere near as sophisticated as what we've leveled them up for this game, because there's just so much going on in this game. But like for me, I think it was like. Trover is interesting in that it's mostly me voice-wise. I obviously got a few people in, but like I was in a situation where we temped like the whole game early because we just wanted to get like the block in up with the temp and see how it felt. And like then when we were kind of trying to finish the game, it was just, finishing a game is just a lot, right? And so it was like, we're not even finishing, just throughout production, it was like, there's all this shit we need to do. There's stuff that isn't working, blah, blah, blah. Like, we were a small team back then, like way smaller than we are now. And the original plan was to like replace my temp with like people, like actors, like,
right.
People, and it got to a point where it was like, the temp is funny. People like it, and I was like, you know what, it's fine. It's making me laugh. Like, it's not, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. And in this game, I really wanted to go in and be like, we can't have that happen.
Yeah.
Again, so we used Robo Voice for the temp, and that made it like we couldn't, like we had to, like, you know, we were forced to fucking cast and like and get and I really wanted a robust cast and to just tap into all the cool people I love working with, and then who can we get that we would want to work with, you know? And we got really lucky there. So I think there's like those kinds of things, I think, going into this game, which pushed the game into a more it's in this nice middle ground between the silliness of Trover, but then it's got a much more grounded, scripted, you know, the stakes are higher. You can really, like, you know, there's moments in the game that are disturbing, you know, in a comedy game. It's not disturbing because the comedy is disturbing. It's disturbing because it's like a disturbing concept to see a human being, like, you know, like just sort of going pale and like eyes rolling back in their head and just being used as a drug, and their life sort of slowly drained. They're basically being murdered slowly for the pleasure of another alien, which is just such a disturbing concept. And just that that disconnect these aliens have, they perceive humans almost the way we perceive, you know, cattle or, you know, these animals we really don't treat very well. I eat everything, but, you know,
Same.
But if I were to go vegan or vegetarian, it would be because of the animals. I'd be like, that'd be the thing that would get me to do it. But anyway, I just thought that was really fascinating to do that with humans, and it, you know, and again, like we're not the first to approach that subject matter in that way. Like, there's a really crazy, trippy movie I watched recently where they flip humans and animals. It's a live action movie. I wish I could remember the name of it. It's like, it's such a weird movie where like a human is chained up to a tree, and then like have you seen this movie?
No, it sounds awesome.
and then like a dog man like gets the human and takes it, and it's like, is he gonna fucking?
This sounds incredible,
dude. And then there's like a deer creature that's hunting. You know, it's fucking.
This
bonkers.
sounds like a perfect movie to watch on shrooms.
You might have a bad trip. It's really unsettling because it does a good job of like flipping, you know, of like putting, you know, changing the perspective of like, oh God, yeah, like we're pretty awful, aren't we, to animals? But anyway, not everybody, you know, but yeah, so I like that. I like that idea. Also, just toying with the addiction, themes of addiction, themes of, there's just a lot of interesting stuff going on in this game, and I wanted to make sure that we weren't, you know, just doing the Trover like, oh, who gives a shit, blah, blah, you know, thing all the time. You know, there obviously are fourth wall breaking moments. We don't do it too much. I don't think we do it to the point where it's like taking you out of like the story. I think we do it just the right amount, and they're really funny moments, and they're very like they're very much coming from a place of like, oh, the writers definitely play a lot of video games, you know. And then there's even jokes that, if you know, you'll appreciate more if you're way into games journal, like if you're way into like, you know, the what's the like not games journalism, but just like if you're glued to like gaming news, and you're glued to like, you know, stuff like that, or if you're literally a dev, there's going to be jokes that you're going to laugh harder at because they're like very much like, so the more like entrenched in gaming culture, the more some of these little fourth wall breaky jokes are going to really land for you, but they're not too many, you know. We wanted to be really careful to not go full Trover where it's just like absolute nonsense the whole time.
I mean, I like the fact that you even did that when you had the kill the kid moment, right? Where it was like, oh, you're going to lose your rating now because of that kind of stuff.
That's an example of one of those kinds of jokes.
That was a thing that I was like, that was funny as shit, because I was like, that would be a thing that automatically would just like get your game pulled off of a shelf. Right? For folks who are, you know, coming to this particular game, what's one of the things that you're really hoping that they are like talking about when they are kind of walking through it? And I mean, we talked a little bit about game design and narrative parts, but like, are there moments in that game that you're just like, ooh, we nailed this thing in the way that we designed it and thought about it and really crafted it in a way that we are hoping that when reviews come out, or when folks are making their YouTube videos about reviews and stuff, that they're talking about those parts of the game? Any stuff in there that you're really, I mean, again, no spoilers, but things that you're thinking about in that way?
Because like the stuff that I would say are spoilery moments, but I feel like, I guess I don't really know. I other than just the hope that people, I guess the best thing people could say is like, like I was talking about this the other day. Like the best thing I hear is when someone says like, a thing you created helped me through a really rough time. You know what I mean? Like I got through some really hard shit because, not because, but I was able to like have reprieve from it by way of a piece of content you made. And that's like the highest compliment, because I've been there. I know what that's like. And it is a really incredible thing when you're going through something really shitty and you're able to escape, and the art, you're able to laugh, or you're able to, for however long it is. And I think that would be the highest praise. But getting into like, like specifics, I mean, it would make me so happy to hear people familiar with game design and just what goes into games to comment on the narrative design and how like impressive it is. The just the shooter mechanics, the traversal gameplay, like any of the stuff that we really put a lot of time and work into, to hear people praise that stuff is going to be really cool. That'll be like the coolest for the team, for all of us.
This might be a really good time for you to do a GDC talk. This would be really dope for you all to go to GDC and do it.
We've definitely talked about it.
That'll be kind of rad.
It's surprisingly complex what goes into the things that seem really simple in a game like this. So GDC talk is definitely something. If we had more time this year, I think we probably would have done it, but next year for sure we'll probably go and talk about how some of the narrative worked or some of the art worked. Like there's a lot of people on the team who are really excited about the unique approach that we're taking to doing stuff. I mean, I think for me that's the most exciting part, is like talking to seasoned developers who are like, how did you do that? Like, how did you do that thing? And that's something that you don't hear often these days, especially with, everybody kind of using the same set of tools, right? And so when you're doing something different and people go, I genuinely don't know how you did that, it's really exciting, We're like, oh, cool, we did something special.
Yeah, we are, the game hits on December 13th of this year, but we are upgrading to Unreal Engine 5. No, I'm joking. Could you imagine
December 12th?
Yeah, we're gonna.
I mean, it's drag and drop, right?
Yeah.
You got to
it's as easy as that.
Move it over.
Yeah.
Asset B folder.
I always
into
I always
assets
love the
folder.
stories of like they changed engines halfway through development, and it's just like, oh my god,
Can't imagine.
It's always a
what
fucking
was.
nightmare story whenever you hear that.
Yeah, I feel like our tech director's sphincter just shot up into his body.
Well, Knifey can help with that. From what I've heard.
Oh yeah.
No spoilers.
I would love Knifey merch. I'd love like a Knifey sized like.
I want it to be
plush,
like a plush with a real blade on it.
Oh yeah, like a really
like
sharp,
a
like
super
actual,
sharp,
like just razor sharp blade for kids.
For kids,
yeah.
And then I want one that's licensed by Rachel Ray.
Oh,
that's the one I want.
Cooking,
I want that.
Oh yeah, just and then every time you shake him, he just says, "You fucking ass cunt, you fucking bitch." It's so filthy, dude. Michael, obviously he's Australian, and that word in Australia holds so. It's almost like nobody cares there, but here it's like, oh god, oh. There's other words in other territories that like I guess spaz is like really offensive.
Oh,
and,
really?
I just found this out in I guess the UK or something, but here it's like nothing. It's like
weirdly, but even here though, in the accessibility communities, it is a thing that people are saying to please not use.
Oh wow, shit. Well, I'm sorry I said it out loud. I didn't mean it in a hateful way. I just was commenting on.
You said spats. Talking about
I was talking about spats.
Spats, not spaz.
No, I didn't. Don't.
I said that. Sorry, everybody. I mean, look, we're learning. We're learning spats.
No. But yeah, it's so that word is in our game quite a bit. The C word. and it's
only him though.
It's only him. Yeah, it's only yeah. And we're just like, you know what? Like just have at it, man. Go. Just go.
We can do it.
Yeah. Just go. Just it's okay in Australia, then, you know, whatever. But
I think again, like cultural sensitivities are important to make sure we're paying attention to, and there are different versions of that across the world.
I will say, like, I'm pretty good about it, but I also, to me, like, a laugh or comedy is like the you know. But I have a pretty good sense of where the bar is, or where the line is for me. Obviously, nothing's ever done in hate. I don't have any hate in me at all. So I tend to just want to laugh and make people laugh. And, you know, look, if you try to please everybody, you're gonna have the most milquetoast. If you try to not offend anyone, you know what I mean? You're gonna have the most milquetoast fucking thing ever. There's not gonna be a laugh to be seen for miles. So you just kind of have to go with your own instincts about that, and then, you know, just know, like, you're not hey, I'm not a hateful person, so it's, you know, and then my main thing also is just stay the fuck away from politics, stay the fuck away from, you know what I mean? The content I make, I want to be an escape from all of that. I want people to get away from that for a little bit and enjoy some fun comedy. They can laugh. But anyway, yeah.
And then my rule is, like, everyone's learning in real time. And, you know, if you're trying to be a reasonable human being, then everyone will get it at some point. So
what was the game someone just brought up the other day that was like, oh, it's a product of its time, but I guess it's like a comedy? Fuck, I should have wrote it down, because I was like, I want to go back and play that again.
Like BioShock Infinite or something like that.
No, what the fuck was it? No, because it was like more a comedy. Who cares? It's I'm wasting our time.
High on life.
Yeah, it's a pussy. It'll be 10 years from now. It'll be like, ooh, that game. Whew.
Yeah,
that game really. No.
Well,
Hopefully
I mean, again, like, I think for in our audience is smart enough to understand, you know, intent, right?
Oh, that's it.
And I think that's a huge part of the conversation, and I appreciate you know, sharing that. Mikey, what was one of the favorite things you got to do on the game? What was the thing that when you're like, I nailed the shit out of that? That was all me. When you get to beat your chest, it was like, that was me.
Oh man,
what was
I
your
had my fingers in everything on the game, so I'm really proud of everything. You know, the team worked so hard to make the game look and feel the way that it does. So I'm really proud of the team for that. Like, on a personal level, I'm really happy that the art direction is weird and it looks good, and that took a lot of work to lay the groundwork for the team to follow, and I'm really proud of where we got with it. And I think, like, the original pitch was what if Jim Henson made Blade Runner, and I feel like that hits. Like, whenever I say it, people go, oh, that's exactly what it is. And I'm pretty proud that we were able to hit that, because it's such a weird concept, you know. And, like, the stuff Justin and I were passing back and forth early on, we were like, are we really gonna make this? This is so exciting, because it's just like, it's cool, like 90s toys and movies and weird, like, before CG was in everything, you know. And it's just all the stuff that we just really bonded over, and, like, there's weird B-movie references. And, like, I mean, like, even the main boss, I won't say what the movie is, but he's heavily based on a really obscure movie that I love from the 80s.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Justin's like the only other person I've met that
I wonder if I know what it is. I'm gonna find a way to get that message to y'all to be like, I wonder if I know what it is.
It won't be hard to find. It's
awesome. It's so good.
But Nighthawks with...
That's it. That's the one.
That's the guy. Yep.
With Sylvester
Based
Stallone.
Off of our main villain, Garmantuous, is
although we do have a Sylvester Stallone character.
Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah. That's forgot about
that. But like, just
whatever. It's inspired, loosely inspired.
Loosely inspired.
I'm proud of the Sylvester Stallone guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love the fact that, like, in the demo that I got a chance to play, like, most of the folks who I interacted with, their VO sounded like somebody I would meet on the 5 train when I was back home in New York. I was like, oh, this is a New York vibe of, like, people talking shit on the street. Like, I like this vibe of everything here.
Yeah, and the gun's kind of like, oh boy, here we go. It's kind of like echoing what you're thinking. That's a really cool thing about the game too. Is like, as someone who like works on that game all day, all the time, I still am finding stuff that makes me laugh and stuff I've never heard before. And like, it's a testament to how passionate everybody on the team is about getting content in that, like, as much as I care about this thing, somebody else cares that much about something else. And so whenever we're playing, we're like, oh, holy shit, where did this come from? This is great, you know? And
there's so much content.
Yeah.
So much audio.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing to really be proud of is like the team having the autonomy to do that and feeling comfortable, like pitching ideas. And like, I like to think that we have a culture of like, there's no bad idea, right? Like, let's hear it out. If someone's got an idea, let's hear it out. We'll try it out. And so many funny things get in as a result of that, you know? And I think that's definitely something to be proud of. And when you play the game, there's something for everyone because of that, you know?
Well, again, we're running out of time. And thank you both for your time to hang out with me and the rest of the folks on Spawn on Me Land. I had a blast with the demo. Again, it was one of the highlights for me for this PAX, for seeing it at the Xbox Showcase. It was one of my most anticipated games. We talked about this on our show.
Wow.
And that's being really hyped for it.
That's a big like hearing that, like people say like, oh, this shot up my list of most anticipated. That's crazy. You know, it's like, wow, okay, that's really cool. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, very excited for both of you and the rest of the Squanch team.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Thank you for continuing to put some good vibes into the world and making us laugh. And
there's bad vibes in there too.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear, it's not just good vibes.
We want some positive negativity in this world. We're trying to figure out some ways to bridge the gap.
Make sure we hurt people still. You know, gotta keep it balanced.
Just throwing spike strips in people's way. Just walk over this rake, fam. Yeah. Gents, thank you so much for being with me and hanging out with me here at PAX 2022. Everybody at home, we have more dopeness coming to you from PAX. We'll see you very, very soon. Much love and peace.
December 13th.
December 13th. Let's go.